But tell me what year you went to Vietnam.
I arrived in Vietnam on January 30th of 1971, or 70.
January 30th, 1970.
Yes.
What year did you graduate from high school?
1966.
So you were 17, 18 in high school?
Yeah, I was 18 when I graduated.
Okay. Tell me what you remember about Vietnam during high school. Was it a serious thing? Was it an afterthought? I mean, did the kids talk about it and some of the young boys think someday you might go to Vietnam? What were your thoughts back then in high school?
Actually, it wasn't even on my radar. I was more interested in being a kid.
So you got out of high school, you graduated, and what'd you do then?
Well, it was on the radar enough so that I knew I needed to go to college. So I started at UNR Reno, and I went to college for 2.5 years.
Were you drafted?
Yes and no. I knew a lot about the military because my dad was career naval. He was in the Navy from 1934 to 1962, and he was in naval aviation. I was actually born on Pensacola, the home of naval aviation. And he raised me in a military way. He was a lieutenant commander, and so I needed to know proper etiquette at meals when he had to, eat with other officers. And then in college, I went to ROTC for 2 years because it was required at that time. And so I knew how to shine shoes and polish buckles, and I could march and do the manual of arms in college. And so, but on the other hand, I knew that the pretty hippie girls, it was a lot better to be like a rock climbing instructor than a ROTC cadet. I forgot your question.
No, I was just wondering what you did after college. I mean, after high school into college. And then I want you to lead me up till if you were drafted, did you enlist, and what branch of the military did you go in?
Oh, okay. I quit college at in the middle of my junior year, and I went up to Alaska, and I was working as a mountain climbing guide for the Institute of Arctic Biology, and they were doing research on Mount McKinley. It was actually an Army project called Project Themis. They were worried that the Chinese were going to cross the Himalayas and get involved in Southeast Asia, and so I finished that project right about the time that the draft was aware that I wasn't in school anymore, and so it was the end of the project, and I was in Fairbanks and unemployed. So I volunteered for the draft. So I'm RA, regular Army, but it was just when you volunteer for the 2 years, you don't get any choice of MOS. It's just like being drafted. So I was sort of drafted, but I'm RA.
So you went into the Army?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What were you, about 20 years old then? 21?
I'd just turned 21.
Okay, your thoughts at that time about Vietnam? I mean, were you thinking someday I'm going to be there? Were you thinking it's every young man's duty to go to Vietnam? What were you thinking?
Well, I had mixed feelings. I was I guess I was pretty neutral. I just thought it was something I'd do and get it over with, you know. So I wasn't feeling super patriotic, but I didn't want to go to Canada.
Mm-hmm. Did you have friends that were going and you knew them, and did maybe some not come back at that time in your life?
No, I had no connection with Vietnam at all, really.
Was it a looming fear or a looming just a bad thought in your mind, or was it like you said, just go there, do your time, and get out?
Yeah, I had no idea how bad it was there, and so I just thought I'll do my time and get out.
Had you ever traveled much? You been out of the country before?
Yeah,
At that time?
yeah, I had bummed around down in Mexico, and I'd done quite a bit of mountain climbing.
Tell me about basic training. Where did you go?
I went to Fort Lewis, Washington, and I did fine at basic training because I was in shape for mountain climbing, and I knew enough military stuff so that I was just invisible in basic training. I didn't screw up.
Was it tough? What was the hardest part of basic training for you?
The hardest part was my dad was very prejudiced against the Japanese. I mean, he hated them. And it seemed like the drill instructors were very prejudiced against Asians. You know, they taught us to call them nips, dinks and slopes and gooks, you know, and so I didn't like that because I didn't want to be prejudiced. But as far as the military stuff, it was fine. I qualified as an expert with the M16, and the physical part was fine because I was in good shape.
How about mentally? Was it tough?
Well, there was one incident that was kind of tough. I made friends with a guy named David Samuels, and he was a graduate student in majoring in physics, and they drafted him. And he and I became friends, and he said partway through the course, he said, he says, I'm out of here. I hope you won't miss me. And I didn't know what he meant, but our drill instructor left us at attention and just went and had coffee or something. And David went up in front of the group and he started leading them in the Country Joe and the Fish, I feel like I'm fixing to die rag. And 3 drill instructors came out and dragged him away, and I never saw him again. So that was probably the hardest thing in basic, losing that friend.
So what was your MOS?
I was 91 Bravo, which is infantry medic.
Why did you pick that MOS?
I didn't. When we graduated, it said everybody was getting 11B rifleman, and mine said 91B. So I went and asked the drill instructor, what's 91B? And he says, oh, you're in deep shit. That's combat medic.